The Dallas Cowboys have made a fourth outside free agent signing. It is once again a bargain signing for the Cowboys. Payton Turner, the former first-round pick out of Houston, who the Cowboys had interest back when he was coming out in the 2021 NFL Draft, is signing a, stop me if you've heard this before, a $3 million per year deal. This time it's 1 year, $3 million, just like Devontae Williams. $2 million is guaranteed. We'll break this down in depth on today's show, but just in a bubble, do you like the signing of Payton Turner to give the Cowboys some additional edge depth here? Y for yes, N for no. Let me know in the comment section of today's show, Y or N. How do you feel about the signing of Payton Turner? This is a bargain signing. This is continuously what the Cowboys have done this offseason, and what they're hoping for is a bit of a breakout season for a player they probably liked coming out of Houston, who was a first-round pick by the Saints, who's got good physical skill set, good measurables, good all that stuff, and who hasn't been a productive pro. I think the hypothetical upside of some of the flashes you've seen over the course of Payton Turner's career make it kind of intriguing. But he has not been, he's played less than 700 snaps over the past 4 years. And if you want to go back to his last year at Houston, we're at less than 900 snaps in 5 years of football. He's still relatively young. He only just turned 26 years old. He's got size and measurables. He's 6'5" and change, 270 with 35-inch arms. He kind of fits that base edge setting role that, you know, in theory you think you can reduce inside a little bit, which was kind of the interesting thing coming out, though he has not done much inside stuff in the NFL. He's kind of been a pure edge for the Saints. But this is a classic Cowboys signing. It genuinely feels like this year in free agency, instead of waiting until day 3 to go do the 1 year cheap signing, they're doing it on day 1 and day 2. And in a bubble, that's fine. But again, the impact is, the expectation of the impact is not super high for me. But the upside makes it a fine signing. It's just, you know, it's another like non-splashy, oh my God, yeah, we got so-and-so. It's like, it's fine. It's not a big-time move. So grade the signing of Payton Turner, A, B, C, D, or F. Let me know in the comment section of today's show. It's the pinned comment. If the ad comes here on YouTube, take advantage of it. Head down there and let me know. Now, Solomon Thomas might end up being like, he can play more DT than defensive end. Turner probably plays more defensive end than defensive tackle. But between Micah Parsons, Marshawn Kneeland, Sam Williams, guys that can play edge in Solomon Thomas, and even more so with Payton Turner, they're probably done looking to do stuff at edge. You know, he's got $2 million guaranteed. That's not uncuttable from a contract on the 1 year, $3 million deal, but it is indicative of a player that they want to keep on the team. And they are hoping that they can take a step forward, that Turner can be more than what he's been over the course of his NFL career, that he can finally live up to that first-round hype of being this physically gifted, long, lanky. He was coming out 6'5" and 3/8, 270, 35-inch arms, and I think some change there. There's untapped physical potential. There's untapped talent with Payton Turner. And for $3 million, that's fine. But you know, again, your production at edge that's now under contract, not named Micah Parsons, depending on how we count Solomon Thomas, is like 6 sacks. That's not, even with Solomon Thomas at 6 sacks, it's not exactly ultra impressive, but it is another addition on the defensive line who fits that bigger body archetype. If he's your 4th edge, that's actually probably fine. It's who's your 2nd edge? That's the question I have for the Cowboys right now. More on this to come, and we'll recap all the moves made so far by the Cowboys. You can get the Cowboys turnover chain today over at chatsports.com/Cowboys turnover chain. Maybe you get some forced fumbles from Payton Turner and those long arms, some pass breakups, leading interceptions, whatever. Get your turnover chain today at chatsports.com/Cowboys chain. It is a Fanatics site, by the way. Get yours today. Links in the comments section and the description of today's show. I look at both the edge and the defensive tackle room right now. We'll see if Tank Lawrence ends up returning. I have my doubts there in terms of we'll see what the market ends up looking like. But Micah's there, Marshawn Nealon, Sam Williams, Solomon Thomas, Payton Turner. If you have some health, that's upside-filled edge rushing room. But I don't think this would ever preclude you from adding another body, another early-round pick, another good player, whether that's Tank Lawrence or somebody else, at defensive end. Turner has shown flashes when healthy. He's had good games in his NFL career. He hasn't been consistent. He hasn't been out there enough. He played 5 games back in 2020. He played 8 games back in 2022. He played 2 games in 2023. He was finally healthy this past year for the Saints. He also played 335 snaps. Okay. The pass rush rate wasn't crazy strong. The pass rush pressure rate wasn't crazy strong. But this is I tend to call this the Will McClay special. Of someone this is someone that they probably had a decently high grade on, and they're getting him super cheap, and they're going, let's see what happens. I coming out looking at my draft notes here. I had a second-round grade on Payton Turner, 48th overall. He obviously went 20 picks earlier. He was my number 5 edge in the class. I had him as intriguing option in a kind of a muddled group of edges. He has always battled injuries. That has always been a thing for Payton Turner. He had a torn ACL as a high school senior, foot injury as a sophomore, busted some fingers up in 2019, had a knee issue in 2020 and a hand and COVID stuff that cost him time. He barely played his final year at Houston. This is someone that needs reps, that needs playing time. He kicked the shot at Tulane, by the way, when he played him at Houston. But he's got great length and size. He's got 35-inch arms. There are some physical skill sets that's intriguing. As your 4th edge, sure, I'm down with that. Maybe he has a breakout year, but this does not fill your number 2 edge need. That's my main thing. And if you're viewing this as, okay, we have our number 2 edge, I think you're going to be really disappointed in the end. Now, we will be live again Wednesday, simulcasting again on the Chat Sports stream and on the Cowboys Report as well. So do not miss out. Hit that sub button, youtube.com/Cowboys TV for more free Cowboys videos. When news happens, we got you covered. So to recap the moves here overall made by the Cowboys, Osa Odigizua kind of feels like a bit of a team-friendly contract at 4 years, $80 million. That kind of helps you out at the 3 technique spot. You feel good about that. Solomon Thomas can play some 3 technique. So between Thomas and Turner, I think you're kind of okay at that spot. And you probably want one more edge/DT and one more nose guard is probably what you're aiming for there. Javonte Williams. Go back to that one. I wasn't quite done going through that there. CJ Goodwin, special teamer, he's back. Marquise Bell, kind of special teamer, safety is back there. Trent Sig is back. And then your other outside moves. Javonte Williams, a 1-year, $3 million deal. Robert Jones, which is 1 year up to 4.75. As of filming, I have not seen the actual nitty-gritty contract details on Robert Jones or on Solomon Thomas, which makes me think this will end up being a less than that actual figure contract there. Of note on Kevontae Turpin, by the way, there are incentives to get him up to $18 million for receiving yards that he's never gotten to, for catches he's never gotten to either. So this is really more of a 3-year, $13.5 million deal for Kevontae Turpin, up to $18 million, which does not make him the highest paid special teamer in the NFL. So that's why I always want to see the actual nitty-gritty contract stuff, because that's not actually $18 million. So do make note of that one there. And then Turner in on a 1-year, $3 million deal. The guaranteed money is already known, $2 million. Maybe there's some incentives there, but that is, that's edge 4. And you still need to go find a better edge 2 opposite Micah Parsons.